What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. It's time for the next episode of Slime Rancher, where actually I may kind of just go through and I may skip a lot of time so that I can just go harvest my stuff as frequently as possible. Like that right there, it probably didn't get me there on the deep brine area over here on the left-hand side, but it probably got me like in the ballpark, I think. For potentially, so is this gonna... See, I'm always worried these things are gonna, like, fall out from underneath me and ruin my life by not growing ever again. And then I'm gonna have to throw a whole bunch more resources at them and just be like, okay, a whole bunch more resources is like one onion. It's one onion. I'm being a little bit over the top right now. Hyperbole, you need to have a solid skill at hyperbole if you're ever gonna work on the internet. I hate to tell you, but that's just the way it goes. Hyperbole is their skill. So we got carrots over here. I should probably feed some fruit to some of these animals on the opposite side too, but I gotta throw this primordial oil in the science machine. Actually, I can just pile it up over here. It doesn't matter. It'll stay there. I can just create like little piles that keep me from having to run all over the place. Here, you guys take those because I know you like them. And frankly, I have no use for them right now, so enjoy. Do your thing. Off we go to the dry reef, whatever the hell it's called area. I don't memorize the names of things. I find it easier just to call things like, hey you, what's that? What's up, thing? You know, it's one of the it's not real humanizing. Let's just hit this thing right on the head right now. Let's just get in there, roll up our sleeves and admit this to ourselves right at this second. But it does save time. And so really I think what it comes down to is how much time are you willing to save in exchange for, you know, maybe making people want to hit you. And I guess it also depends how impervious you are to hitting. Like, how much that worries you. I mean, if you're okay with just catching one of them smack-a-lack-a-dang-dongs upside the head, all good. All good. Just go with the plan. I promise you, I'm going to save you, like, 2 to 3 seconds, like, 10 times a day. And so at the end of the day, that's like, I don't know, 2-3 seconds, 10 times a day. Let's just say 30 seconds you save every single day. You get a minute out every 2 days? Like, what? 15 minutes every month? What cash money savings? What cash money savings? What a dude, what a bro, what a pal, what a guy to do such a kind thing for you. To change your life in such amazing, rudimentary, and fundamental ways. But you know what? I'm a giver. I'm like the Giving Tree. Dude, how much of a punk was the Giving Tree? Holy shit, dude. That story carries the exact wrong moral. Like, I've never liked the Giving Tree. I've always identified with the Giving Tree, and I think that says something about people. It's like when they watch nature documentaries. You could tell a lot about somebody by whether or not they identify and cheer for the prey or the predator. Like, I feel like you can tell a person's personality, like, big time, just by, like, who they root for. Like, make them watch, like, a documentary about sharks eating other things, and if they cheer for the shark, well, I think we could draw certain conclusions about them as a person. If they cheer for the seal, other conclusions can be drawn. I'm not affirming in the positive or the negative here. I'm not taking a side, Nerdcastle. I'm not going to say who's right or who's wrong, because I don't think they are, but I'm just saying you can identify certain traits that way. See, and the Giving Tree was one of those situations. When I was a kid, my mom used to read me that book. And if you don't know what the Giving Tree is, essentially the Giving Tree is about this tree, and this punk-ass little kid grows up next to this tree, and he keeps asking the tree for shit, and the tree just keeps giving it to him. He's like, oh, hey, tree, let me get your fruit. And the tree's like, oh, it's all good, I'll grow more. And then he's like, hey, yo, tree, let me get some of them leaves. And the tree's like, all right, that's kind of painful, but you can have those too because I care about you. And then by the time you get to the end of the book, spoiler alert, the kid has chopped down the whole tree, converted his ass into a canoe, and the tree has just left a dead, petrified stump laying on the ground. And then what's worse is the kid grows up, and when he's an old man, he comes back to the stump, and he asks the tree for a place to sit down. He sits down on the corpse of the tree that he chopped down. He rubs his ass all over it. And this is a sentient tree. This kid needs to understand what kind of, like, rarity, what biological miracle he's in the presence of. He found a talking tree, and his response is to chop this dude down and convert him into just stuff to enrich his life and make it better. And then when all is said and done and the tree is just given everything to this kid, he grows up, becomes an old man, and rubs his ass on him. And I'm just like, dude, forget that little kid. That little kid is the worst. He's about to catch an Entin whooping. I'm about to get up in there like the Entmoots in town. He can have the fruit. Like, I'll be generous. I might give him the leaves, even though it's inconvenient. But right about the point where he's like, hey, bro, I'm trying to seduce this girl. Can I murder you and convert you into a canoe? Hell no. Absolutely not. That is not on the docket. This is a terrible book that teaches kids terrible things. What it teaches you is that you can just continue to ask shit of people, and they'll just keep giving and giving and giving and giving, and you should never consider that maybe you're taking too goddamn much. Maybe you're being a little bit greedy. Maybe you aren't the kind and gentle child that you think you are. Maybe you should look out for the tree every now and again and be like, yo, bro, it's all good. How about I come out here with a bag of fertilizer or something? Maybe I could itch your trunk for a little while. Give back is all that I'm saying. I'm going to write a book called The Receiving Tree. It's a tree that just chills right there, and everybody that comes by, it's just like swap, and it grabs them, and it eats them, and consumes their flesh through a knot in the side of its trunk. And it's like, nom, 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 nom. You pushed me to this, humans. You pushed me to these. I got to come up with like a, I don't know if I would make him like joking like, yeah. I don't know if that's going to work out. Like, what would the tree sound like? I'm gonna eat you, human! Yeah! Like, I don't know if that voice works quite. So it looks like all of our... I mean, we're gonna get some harvests in today. But I think by and large, we're still just waiting on things. Like, I can make another depository. Like, I can make the gray one, or I can make, like, the brown one. And I can make one of those things that we already built in the other zone that doesn't appear to be actually as useful as I had hoped it would be. Maybe I'm just not original enough to make it happen, but... I don't know. It's possible. I'm just not an original guy. I'm really not. That's why I became an LP. I'm like, well, this seems like something that I can accomplish with no relative talents, no artistic skill, and really no prospects. This seems like it has a low startup cost. Maybe I'll do this, huh? So, Plurt Sucker, you ever gonna get on that? Man, these carrots all up in the way right now. I think that's the problem, is that the carrots get sucked up too. And so then the poos can't go inside of there here. I'm going to suck up all the carrots real quick. Just to kind of make sure there's no obstructions. There it is. See, it's the obstructions. You got to watch out for them. They're messing with your suction game. Although I'd be unenthusiastic about my job too if my job was to suck shit out of the ass of monsters. I'd just be like, man. Unemployment office really handed off a doozy this time. A doozy, if you will. A doozy. We're accomplishing stuff. We're moving along. We have too many collectors down though now. The next time around what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put down some drills. Because with the 6 that we have down at the moment, it's like, well, damn. What else is there to work on? I'll probably throw these minty mangoes over into the pen with the phosphor slimes, although I do have pogo fruits, although I think they like Q-berries instead. If I was smart, I would have grown Q-berries, but I'm not, so I just kind of do whatever. Here. Enjoy. Feast upon them, and then I shall put the rest in the receptacle so that the offering is tapered. Here, everybody gets a music box too because I've got loads of cash and it's not going anywhere or doing anything. Tabby Plort? Sure, why not? I'll move you around for right now. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't. Perfecto. They like the stony hens. I don't really have that many stony hens. So I think they're going to have to get down with some of the... Oop, I sucked up my roostro. My bad. I need you in there and breeding. Taking care of business. Every day, taking care of business. Working overtime on my own. Is that how that song goes? I think I've only ever heard that song like one time. So I'm not entirely... Oh, shitballs. My crops is gone again. I really hope they add an upgrade that lets you see how many harvests it has left. Just like a little light right here with like three little segregated lights or whatever. So it'd just be like, I don't even know what you would call that. I guess it would be segmented. So a segmented lamp right here with like 3 segments. Each time you get a harvest out, it's like ding, and it ticks downwards. Unless it's based on time, and then they could just put an hourglass next to it. I'm okay with making it an upgrade that you actually have to purchase. Like, I'm okay with that. That sounds alright to me. That sounds like a mid-level exchange, you know what I mean? For convenience, you gotta pay like 500 gold or something. Removal. Throw that back in there. Oh, look at you over here producing all this fruit. Good for you, man. Good for you. Doing what a tree do. That is a tree that is full of some fluids right there. That is a tree that is full of some fluids. You can tell, because look how dumpy and stumpy it is. Looks like somebody put an inflatable bag inside of a burlap sack and just like went for it. Like, dirt. I am probably going to be doing a lot more video log stuff on the channel. I don't know. I'm feeling transitions in the air right now. Changing up what I do. in all honesty, like the long play, so LPs are dying right now. They are. They sincerely are. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for all of you. Like, this industry started in 2006, and I think we've really kind of seen, like, the beginning of the burst of the bubble. If you're not making, like, highly edited stuff, then, you're probably not getting by so well, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I've been thinking about lately getting back into voice acting, because I was into that for a little while. I played around with it. I know how to make a voice reel, and I've done, like, machinimas and little things like that here and there. Working on roll for it a little bit more and seeing if I can develop that into like a tangible thing that ends up being like my job. Really, really excited about that. I think I'll always like LP in some capacity or another. Like maybe just like one series at a time or something that's just like up on the channel. But I don't know, man. It just feels like the winds are shifting right now. It feels like things are very, very different. And unless you're making very specific kinds of content, you are not surviving. And I've seen that like across the board with like everybody I know in the industry. It's like we have these little conversations and it's like, so how are things going for you? And they'll be like, you know, part of a dying industry. It's kind of like being a paper manufacturer in the world of the internet. Like, well, you know, it was a good run though. You got to appreciate what you had out. I mean, I got to play video games for a living for like 2 years. So that's pretty sweet. That's pretty rad. Nothing to really complain about. Like, what are you going to do? Be like, oh no. This thing that I knew was going to end someday has ended. That's like I came into LPing knowing that like someday it wasn't going to be like a viable thing forever, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I've been thinking about getting back into, I've been putting together a voice profile and some other stuff. I mean, I live in the Bay Area, so I'm within like 20 minutes of the city, and there's a lot of voice acting opportunities over there for both commercials and businesses. Stuff like that. I'm selling off all these plurts because our cash flow is below $10,000, and that makes me sad. I want to make sure we have 10 grand in the tank. Keep that shit ready to go. Odd Onion, you go inside of there. I think I'm about to get some Q-berry plots. I'm hatching a Q-berry plot right now. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do next, like the next zone over, and just kind of see how that goes. I think that sounds like a good plan here. You guys get some limited food for the moment. Could probably sell off a shit ton of these, too. There's just so many of them. Like, it's weird how broke you are when you first start this game out, and just, like, how there's nothing to spend the money on. As you get further and further and further in, it's just like, oh, well, you know. I wonder if they're gonna... I wonder if the blue keys or the purple keys are even implemented yet. Hard to tell. Here, just let's flood the rad market there. There we go. Everything is radical. It's all taken care of. Nothing to worry about any further. Yeah, I need to wait for this next line of drills to be over, and then what we'll do is we'll throw some stuff into the Indigo Quarry. And I think the big thing that's just hindering us right now is we don't have any diamonds. Like, the diamonds, I think they come from Indigo Quarry. They come from the drills in general, I think. It's just you've got a better chance in the Indigo Quarry, maybe. And then I put all my chickens in the basket of the deep brine harvesters out here. And so... is it evening? Let's go ahead and bypass time again. I'm going to start bypassing time very, very aggressively because, honestly, I have no need for money. The slimes can't escape from most of the pens. I don't need most of their offal and, like, most of their extra stuff, so it doesn't really matter. Like, basically, as long as I keep feeding the ones that have the pink slime production capacity, we should be good. And, honestly, they're still eating like beastuses over here, so I don't even think I need to worry about that. Yeah, we'll throw all the pogo fruits in here. And then given the fact that we just jumped a lot of hours, I'll probably make my way out to... the jungle and see if I can, like, grab some honeycombs and some other stuff. I don't know, a lot of it, what it comes down to is, like, do you like what you do? And I really do like what I do. But I think that LPing is going to become a hobby once again. Like, you know how in the early days of LPing, it was a hobby, like you couldn't do it for a living? I think it's going to revert back to that. Like, you can do it as, like, a hobby that maybe earns, like, a little bit of money on the side, but I don't think it's going to be, like, a viable, like, career option. I don't think it ever was in the first place. I never felt like it had the duration for that, nor the entertainment capacity, in all frankness. That's why you've seen I've been shifting over a lot more to, like, impressions videos, things like that. Worst case scenarios, I'll probably start doing a lot more edited content, although I find editing to be really, really boring. I just don't enjoy it. I flat out do not enjoy editing, so it's like one of those things where, it's like, does that really... For me, the big thing was, oh, these guys are good to go too. Alright, spit out some more things for me to enjoy. And as these start to expire, I'll start putting new drills in the Indigo Quarry, although I think these still have like one more harvest ready to go on them. There we go. Deep brines coming through now. This guy over here. Oh, no, actually, we're still fairly full up. So it looks like you can maybe have... it looks like you can actually have them distinctly, so maybe I'll try to make some drills and see what happens over in the Indigo Quarry. I mean, I'm really, really good at wasting time, so that's probably what I've been doing over the course of the last couple episodes. Let me go mash out some drills real fast. We'll take those over to the Indigo Quarry and we'll get those cooking. And then once we got like a full rotation of stuff, I think life will be grand. It'll all be taken care of. But yeah, I think I'll always have at least like one LP series running or something like that, and if I don't, what I'll do is I'll swap over full-time to Twitch. And I'll play there because I really do. I feel like that's actually what's killed long-form LPs is just that like you can do that all day on Twitch and be live, which is like an added bonus. And I know I haven't been Twitch streaming lately, but it's frankly because there isn't any time in the day. Like between Roll For It, now that I'm GMing and whatnot, like I really did not expect it to eat up as much time as it has, and so there's just like no hours left in the day. Wish that there was, but there aren't. Really sincerely wish that there was. But there aren't. You guys take those. Mint mango, just fire those into there for right now because I'm not that worried about it. These guys are honey slimes, so I don't think it's really going to matter all that much. Oh, shit. Here, you go back inside the pen. Did the sucker get everything? Oh, it did. Cool. What a sucker. Awesome. So we got a few extra things from over here. Cool. Done and done. And then we'll take the pink plorts. We'll throw those inside of there. I don't know if the ones out in the jungle are done. Oh, Jesus. I was going to do the drills. I forgot about it already. See, this is why I never accomplish anything in life, is because, like, I get these motivations, and then, like, I run to the place to do the motivation, and then I forget I was supposed to do it in the first place. It's not that I gas out. A lot of people gas out, and they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, it popped back up to the top. I don't want novice drills. I want the advanced ones so that they're there all the time. There we go. So that used up some resources. We've got some extra things now. Let's run back out to Indigo Quarry and see if it'll let us deploy stuff out there. Fire some mangoes up in the air because I like cranial injuries. Yeah. It's one of those things where I think it's time for me to get back to like my talents and like my passions. Play some music, do some voice acting, have a good time with that. I'm going to leave that shit right there on the ground because it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's going to stay right where it's at. Although I will say I'm a tiny bit jealous. Yeah, you can admit that you're jealous in life, by the way. Some people take jealousy as like the ultimate. Jealousy can be a form of flattery, too. As long as it's not like vitriolic jealousy. The jealousy that you're just like, I'm going to stab that guy in the head with a knife because he's better than me. That's the wrong kind of jealousy. The right kind of jealousy is being like, damn, man, you are talented at this thing that I am not talented at, and I wish that I was. And I wish you no ill will. Oh, I have drills over here, too. Well, Jesus, I'm just being a screw-up today, aren't I? Alright, well, there's some indigonium then. We've got primordial oil on this side. It looks like this zone almost entirely spits out primordial oil. So far, no diamond. How many more deployment spots do I have? Oh my god, we got another one over here. I was just playing around with shit in that episode, wasn't I? I was throwing shit all over the place. Okay, so I'll take the primordial oils with me for right now. Put in a couple more drills so that they're all in the same rotation. And I think that that'll be my last deployment. Yeah? Oh no. I got space for a couple more. There we go. Now we're all tapped out. And I just got to recall to go through and handle all that as we get further into the game. I'm going to try and jetpack out of here. Yeah, a lot of people treat jealousy like mum's the word, like you're never allowed to feel jealous. Dude, 90% of life is being like, well, damn, somebody else is better than me. You might as well get used to that part. It's just don't let the jealousy become like a shitty impediment to you. Like if it ever messes with your operation that somebody else is doing their operation, you just got to reappraise why that is. Like a self-confidence issue for you. Like, do you actualize through your job and that's why you just feel bummed out that somebody's doing better than you? Like, what is it that makes you feel that way? and then just like work on that, you know what I mean? Get rid of the root source instead of treating symptoms and shit. I don't know, but it's natural. Everybody feels that way every now and again. Everybody feels like that at some point in their life. And anybody that says they don't is full of shit. Look that guy right in his face and be like, you are full of shit. Just call him on it right there. If a person tried to tell me they ain't never been jealous and they ain't never been mad or they never felt like certain emotions, I'd be like, please. Everybody's felt that way at some point, and everybody has acted on it at some point. That's how you learn not to act on it. You don't just like inherently get that wisdom and knowledge. When I was younger, I had a horrible temper problem. I was always mad and jealous about everything. That's how I learned to grow out of it and like stop feeling that way, because it doesn't matter. Feeling that way is not going to make you do any better. I really was hoping we would get a diamond out. We got enough stuff for the warp depots, the decorations and stuff. We can do some of that. I mean, we got a lot of hangover stuff. So I'm thinking like violent. Yeah, I'm thinking violet. I said violent, but violet slime lamp. Let's see what's up with that. I'm going to take one of these out, and we will run one of these back over. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to put them in like the intro to my town. When people walk through, they're going to see like a veritable light show, a slime explosion of fun just bouncing on in. Let's see here. Yeah. That poor slime, though. He's just got to, like, chill in there, and he has no choice. Like, all the other slimes get to be free inside these tiny cages, whereas he's just got to dwell inside of there and be miserable. I've got 20 of those. I need more in order to properly build a few more lamps. I do like the purple color, too, so I think I'm going to stick with that. Purple is what's up. Yeah, a few more of these right here because I need them for drills or something like that. And I don't mind having them. For me, the big question in life is always like, do you change what you do even though you won't enjoy it in order to be more successful and then glean joy from your success, just knowing that like work is work and you're not going to be happy there? Because that's like what my old man did, right? Like, I know my old man doesn't like roofing. Like, who does? It's roofing. It's, like, unanimously voted one of the worst jobs ever next to coal mining. And, like, there's, like, 4 jobs. Landscaping, like, coal mining. I guess landscaping depends on where you live, too. If you live somewhere where it's, like, really temperate all year round, it's not that bad. But, like, where I live, it gets up to, like, 115 degrees. And guess when people want their landscaping done? In the summer. So that's a super fun job. That's the thing. Is like, do you suck it up and hate your job in return for the financial resources it provides, knowing that like you've got the money to do all the fun stuff you want to do in your free time? Or do you subject yourself to a life of poverty while being very happy with the thing you do for a living? It's a tough call. Like, because both seem to have their merits, and nobody teaches you how to answer these questions. There's no class in high school that's like, this is what you do in this situation. And the reason that class doesn't exist because nobody can answer that question. It means different things to different people. It's completely subjective. And that's what's frustrating about being an adult. You never know. Like, adults, we like to act like we know what the shit we're doing. We never know what we're doing, ever. No adult you know knows what they're doing. They're playing it all by ear. I'm giving you an insight into this. Like, I turned 18, like, somewhere midway through my 20s, I think. I was like, you know, I feel like I should have figured it out by now. I don't feel like an adult. I don't do adult things. Is this what my parents felt like at my age? This has to be what my parents felt like at my age. I feel like I'm working for a paycheck. Not right now, I'm saying when I was 25. I feel like I'm working for a paycheck. And I have no idea where I'm going. I feel rudderless. I've got the college degree. But that work was altogether unsatisfying. So that was a giant waste of like 60 grand. Can't do that over again. Just might as well strike that off the list right now. And I'm telling you, don't expect... I'm trying to save you a little bit of heartache here, kids. Don't ever expect to figure it out. And don't trust anybody that says they had. Those people are always part of a pyramid scheme or some shit. They're always trying to sell you cosmetics. Always trying to sell you cosmetics to sell on their behalf and they get a cut. Those are the people that all say they have it figured out. Those people. The people that are really into fuel units and filming themselves in front of Lamborghinis. Don't ever trust those people. Those people are bullshitters, and that's how they make all their money. Is because they bullshit really hard while sounding really self-confident, and most people fall for it. They're just like, oh, okay. Somebody tried to get one of my friends on that the other day. We were hanging out and they were like, yeah, so somebody I hang out with is trying to get me to sell like these supplement things. They said I could make a lot of money or whatever. And I was like, did you ask them for their pay stub for how much they get paid for selling those? And I was like, yeah, do me a favor, and when that person comes by the next time, ask them for a pay stub proving how much that's going to earn. Also ask them if they get a cut of whatever it is that you sell, and also ask them if you have to buy the product that you're supposed to be selling from them. Go ahead and ask me those 3. Go ahead and run over there and ask them 3 questions. And I promise you, you're not going to like the answers, and that person is not your friend. At best, that person is really, really dumb. And at worst, that person is trying to rook you. I'm just saying, I'm trying to help you out right now because we're friends, and I tell it how it is. I spit it like I live it, homie. Anyways, we're out of time for the day. I'll see you on the next episode of Slime Rancher. God, this episode kind of sucked, didn't it? Oh, well, I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.